This is Nishi-Arai Station on the Tobu Skytree Line and the Daishi Line. The Skytree Line is a nickname given to a section of the Isesaki Line. The Skytree Line facilities here consist of 2 platforms and 4 tracks. It is a convenient layout that allows passengers to transfer between trains heading in the same direction on the same platform. Although daytime connections are often made at Soka Station, 3 stations away. Platform screen doors are being installed on the inner 2 tracks. The equipment has already been installed and full operation is expected soon. Another line serving this station is the Daishi Line, which is the focus of this video. It is a short branch line with a total length of 1 kilometer, about 0.62 miles, connecting Nishi-Arai Station and Daishimae Station. While Skytree Line trains are 20 meters, about 66 feet per car, and operate in formations of up to 10 cars, Daishi Line trains consist of 2 cars. The platforms are correspondingly shorter and located toward the outbound end, requiring a short walk from here. A Daishimae-bound train arriving from the rear of a Series 500 Liberty train is now approaching. That train is a Series 10,000, one of the older rolling stock types in the Tobu fleet. As one of the early stainless steel designs, it is characterized by extensive corrugation on the car sides. At the same time, various displays have been upgraded to LED, and the interior has also been refurbished to a reasonable degree. Previously, the Senior Series 8000 operated on the Daishi Line, but it was fully withdrawn by 2025 from the Daishi Line. The Series 10,000 replaced it on the Daishi Line, and was modified for one-man operation in January 2025. The Daishi Line uses rolling stock that differs significantly from the Skytree Line.
Its facilities and operating style are also distinctive. The Daishi Line platform is reached by going up the stairs and turning left. An intermediate ticket gate is located before the platform. This is not an ordinary intermediate gate. Because Daishimae Station has no ticket gates, tickets are collected at this point. This arrangement can be seen on other single-section lines as well. One example is the JR Watamasaki Line, which consists of only one section between Hyogo Station and Watamasaki Station. Tickets for the Watamasaki Line are collected at an intermediate gate at Hyogo Station. Watamasaki Station has no ticket gates or ticket machines, and passengers exit directly after getting off the train. Consolidating ticket gates and machines at Hyogo Station reduces costs and allows passenger assistance to be handled more efficiently. The Daishi Line follows the same logic, with ticket gates and machines concentrated at Nishi-Arai Station, where passenger support is also centralized. Because this arrangement is relatively rare in Japan, notices are posted explaining that tickets are collected here and that this is not an exit. I go down to the platform. Although it is a small branch line, the station is barrier-free and equipped with elevators. Due to land constraints, the elevator blocks part of the main passenger flow to the platform. This causes certain drawbacks, but that is a topic for another time. The platform is not very wide, measuring less than 10 meters. With few passengers during the daytime, this appears to be sufficient. Daytime service operates at 10-minute intervals, and frequencies do not increase even during rush hours. The timetable is simple on both weekdays and weekends. Of the 2 tracks, Track 2 is used most of the time. This is apparently because trains do not sway when passing through the turnout during arrivals and departures. The rail on Track 1 is rusted, indicating that trains rarely use it. Since 2023, all trains except the first service have arrived and departed from Track 2. A returning Daishimae-bound train arrives. During the daytime, a single train set is used, and it is the same train seen earlier. Despite being within Tokyo's 23 wards, this short branch line has few passengers and a relaxed atmosphere. One-man operation is standard on the Daishi Line. Because the doors cannot be operated from the driver's seat, there is a noticeable delay between stopping and door opening. The driver's cab retains the atmosphere of older Tobu trains. Even after conversion to one-man operation, this aspect appears largely unchanged. At the same time, LCD monitors have been added above the doors. The track of Platform 2 continues beyond this point. The track branching to the right further ahead is used for maintenance. The track extending to the left connects to the downline of the Skytree Line, currently used by Series 5050 trains. The polished rail surface suggests frequent train movements. Announcements are mainly broadcast through onboard speakers. A melody commonly heard on Tobu one-man operation lines plays, and the doors close. There are only a few passengers per car, and while it is not entirely empty, profitability is clearly limited. Markers for stopping positions of 6, 8, and 10 car trains are also installed on track 2. This track may be used for stabling Skytree Line down-direction non-revenue trains. I head to Daishimae Station on the next train. After the track branching from Platform 1 merges with the Skytree Line downline, the track from Platform 2 also joins it. Track 2 is inconvenient for accessing the Skytree Line, explaining why it is rarely used. At this point, I explain the history of the Daishi Line. The Daishi Line opened in December 1931. In May of the same year, the Isesaki Line, originally starting at Kita-Senju, had been extended to Asakusa Station. The Daishi Line was intended to serve worshippers visiting Nishi-Arai Daishi, one of Japan's largest temples. However, it was originally part of a much larger plan. This was the Nishi-Ita Line plan. It was planned to connect Nishi-Arai and Kami-Itabashi on the Tojo Line, with a total length of about 11.6 kilometers, about 7.2 miles. The goal was to link the Isesaki Line system and the Tojo Line system, following the 1920 merger of Tobu Railway and the former Tojo Railway. At the time, Eastern Tokyo was emerging as a major commercial area, and the route allowed direct travel between the inbound Isesaki Line and outbound Tojo Line. The planned route followed the present Ring Road No. 7, with stations planned at Daishimae, Shikahama, Kamiya, and Itabashi Kamijuku. A license application for the Nishi-Arai Kami-Itabashi section was submitted in November 1922, and approval was granted in May 1924. However, the Nishi-Ita Line plan soon encountered serious difficulties. There were 3 main factors. First, the Great Kanto earthquake occurred in September 1923 during the licensing process. Resources were prioritized for restoring existing lines, reducing capacity for new construction. At the same time, construction of the Arakawa floodway was underway as a flood control measure. The former Arakawa followed the present Sumida River route and frequently flooded. An artificial channel was constructed to prevent flooding, and the Isesaki Line route was altered in several locations. Because embankments were not yet completed, bridges over the Arakawa floodway could not be designed. The cost of constructing bridges over both the Sumida River and the Arakawa floodway became a heavy burden. In addition, landowners along the planned route demanded route changes. While addressing these issues, urbanization progressed rapidly, sharply increasing construction costs. As a result, the Shikahama Kami-Itabashi section was abandoned in 1932 due to lack of profitability. Although an extension of the construction deadline was requested for the Shikahama Daishimae section, it was rejected in June 1937 and the license expired. The Nishi-Ita Line plan disappeared into history. Only the Nishi-Arai Daishimae section opened because construction had begun early and local enthusiasm for serving Nishi-Arai Daishi was strong. The Isesaki Line itself opened in 1899, more than 30 years before the Daishi Line. Pilgrimage access improved, and through services were even operated from Uneo via the Joban Line, then operated by Nippon Railway. After the Daishi Line opened, direct trains between Asakusa and Daishimae also began operating. At the time, beyond Kita-Senju, vast farmland stretched as far as the eye could see. Aerial photographs show that even after the route was shifted due to the Arakawa floodway, parts of the old track remained in use at the Nishi-Arai works. The Daishi Line once faced the threat of closure. This occurred in 1964. Ring Road No. 7 was planned to pass close to the Daishimae Station platform, severing the line. Tobu was already struggling with deficits on the Daishi Line, and Tokyo metropolitan government supported abolition to ease traffic congestion. Local residents strongly opposed the plan. Shopping streets closely tied to Nishi-Arai Daishi raised concerns about their survival, and in August 1966, an anti-abolition alliance was formed. Neighborhood associations, housing representatives, teachers, and company and factory representatives joined, submitting 15,000 signatures.
Tobu and Tokyo Metropolitan Government also had their own positions. In 1962, the Hibiya Line began through service to Kita-Senju Station. Residential development along the Isasaki Line accelerated, increasing ridership by 90% in 3 years. Plans called for quadruple tracking between Takanosuka and Kita-Senju by 1972 and major reconstruction of Nishi-Arai Station. The absence of the Daishi Line tracks would make this project easier. A bus terminal in front of the station would also improve passenger flow and convenience. Tokyo Metropolitan Government opposed level crossings between roads and railways on Ring Road No. 7. 4 options were considered. These were elevating the road, elevating the railway, relocating Daishimae Station northward, or abolishing the line. Considering compensation issues, abolition was deemed most appropriate. After abolishing Daishimae Station, bus transport at train-like intervals was planned. Ultimately, the opposition movement succeeded, and both Tobu and Tokyo Metropolitan Government accepted residents' demands. Daishimae Station was relocated about 150 meters, about 500 feet, toward the Isasaki Line and preserved without crossing Ring Road No. 7. As a result, the Daishi Line was shortened from 1.1 kilometers, about 6,800 miles, to 1 kilometers, about 6,200 miles. The Daishi Line is now one of the shortest railway lines in Japan. The journey takes less than 2 minutes, and the entire line is single track. In August 1972, Daishimae Station became Tobu's first unmanned station. At the time, trains ran every 10 minutes during the day and every 8 minutes during peak hours. Despite being a deficit line, 2-car trains were already air-conditioned, and service quality was maintained. In 1991, except near Nishi-Arai Station, the line was elevated, becoming Tobu's only line without any level crossings. The space beside the tracks at Daishimae Station may appear to be a remnant of the Nishi-Ita Line plan, but the current station building dates from 1991 and is unrelated. Because the elevation project was planned during the bubble economy, future track expansion may have been anticipated. I arrive at Daishimae Station. The station is not large, and few people wait on the platform, creating an empty atmosphere. Even on a weekday before noon, usage remains low. Average daily ridership is just over 12,600 passengers. Its proximity to Nishi-Arai Station and nearby bus routes likely contribute to the modest usage. Ridership fell by about 10% after the Nippori Tonari liner opened in 2008, with a new station about 1 kilometer, about 0.62 miles, to the west. With this level of demand, even fewer daytime services would suffice. Operating 2-car, 1-man trains reduces costs, yet 10-minute intervals are maintained, reflecting Tobu's commitment. A large banner hangs from the ceiling, reflecting proximity to Nishi-Arai Daishi. Attention is drawn to the right side. Temporary fencing and a newly built structure are visible near the stairs. This is a new facility under construction at Daishimae Station. The current system with an intermediate gate at Nishi-Arai Station will be discontinued, and ticket gates and vending machines will be installed here. Operations are scheduled to begin in February, and the structure will house ticket machines, fare adjustment machines, and an office. The intermediate gates and machines at Nishi-Arai Station will be removed. After these changes, operations will align with other Tobu lines. The reason lies in the nearby Nishi-Arai Daishi. The current arrangement benefits Tobu by centralizing passenger support at Nishi-Arai Station. Passengers also benefit from assistance at a staffed station when problems arise. However, such systems are uncommon in Japan and can confuse first-time users. Some passengers are puzzled by the absence of gates at Daishimae Station or how to board trains there. Many do not notice the guidance posters, making this a significant issue. On the Watamasaki line, nearly all passengers commute to nearby factories. Because everyone understands the system, problems rarely occur. Most Daishi Line users are local residents. However, during the New Year pilgrimage season, many visitors are unfamiliar with the system. These issues became too significant to ignore, prompting a shift to standard operations. Another reason gates are installed on the platform level relates to station design. I go down to the lower floor. Escalators operate only from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. An elevator is also available, minimizing inconvenience.
The landing is open, without window glass. The high roof attracts pigeons, and signs request that they not be fed. A clinic named Tobu Daishi Line ENT Clinic is located beside the landing. Installing gates on the platform level also ensures convenience for tenants in the station building. Because the clinic is not inside the paid area, placing gates elsewhere would be impractical. That is not the only reason. I go down to the first floor. A notice on a pillar states that tickets are not sold at Nishi-Arai Station, and that passengers should proceed directly through. Tickets should be purchased at Nishi-Arai Station. IC card users are also instructed to proceed directly. Dedicated automatic gates for Daishimae Station are located at Nishi-Arai Station. A shuttered window resembling a service counter is nearby. Daishimae Station is unmanned.
Another reason for installing gates on the platform level is the station layout. There are 2 exits on this floor, requiring duplicate installations if gates were placed here. Consolidating them would reduce convenience, reinforcing the decision. A booth from the era of manual ticket inspection remains. The wooden floor and raised platform are distinctive. The booth is sealed and no longer used. Construction is underway in an adjacent section. The interior has been stripped, with materials and equipment visible. Given its location at the station front, it may once have housed a shop. A bus stop stands in front of the station, with buses to Kita-Senju Station on the Skytree Line. The station building has 3 floors and appears substantial. Its protruding structural elements and pigeon deterrent netting are distinctive. Space that appears to have been a service counter is also visible, though shuttered. A fare chart is provided for passengers boarding at Daishimae Station. As mentioned earlier, tracks once extended beyond this point. Due to the shape of the land, the pedestrian bridge crosses Ring Road number 7 diagonally. I go up the bridge. Large apartment buildings now stand where the tracks and station once were. No physical traces remain, but the angled edge of a building marks the former alignment. Traffic flows constantly on Ring Road number 7, while the Daishi side entrance remains quiet on a weekday afternoon. I visit Nishi-Arai Station on New Year's Day. Platform screen doors on the Skytree Line are already in operation. I observe the Daishi Line handling pilgrim traffic. All intermediate gates support both entry and exit, but left side flow is enforced on this day. This reflects left side operation on the Daishi Line platform at Nishi-Arai Station. While normally the same, enforcement is stricter due to crowding. Additional New Year banners decorate the platform. Red and white ropes enhance the festive atmosphere. Service frequency increases from 10 to 8 minutes between late morning and mid-afternoon. During this period, tracks 1 and 2 are used alternately. Only the 4:12 p.m. departure follows a different pattern depending on the date. A returning Daishimae-bound train arrives. This is a rare arrival on track 1 outside the first service. Passengers pour out, demonstrating the influence of Nishi-Arai Daishi. Crowding occurs due to a single exit route. The elevator obstructs passenger flow, worsening congestion. After passengers exit from track 1, a Daishimae-bound train departs from track 2. When 2 train sets operate, each alternately makes round trips. Although one set could suffice, doing so would worsen congestion at Nishi-Arai Station. Allowing passengers to wait inside trains prevents platform overcrowding. Daishimae Station becomes extremely crowded, with staff present at the terminus. Passenger flow is directed toward the platform and opposite Nishi-Arai Station, helping disperse crowds. The platform structure previously covered by fencing is now visible. I go down to the first floor. The station is lively beyond what is normally imaginable. Passenger flow is right-side oriented, opposite Nishi-Arai Station. A wooden frame door likely leads to the station office. Its aged appearance is striking. Nishi-Arai Daishi is extremely crowded, with shops making movement difficult. Pedestrian flow is carefully managed, with police officers stationed nearby. Groups are guided in sequence. Many of the 12,600 daily passengers likely concentrate during the New Year period. With ticket gates opening in February, next year's pilgrimage may feel different. A major change is approaching on the Daishi Line. This is the introduction of automated train operation. Announced in 2020 is Go A3. Go A stands for Grades of Automation.
Go-A3 refers to automated operation with an onboard attendant. Go-A0 and Go-A1 are the most common operating modes in Japan. These are not automated operations. Go-A2 is semi-automated and common on urban subways. Go-A3 uses attendants instead of licensed drivers. Because attendants do not require national certification, costs are reduced. The most advanced level, Go-A4, is fully automated without onboard staff. In Japan, this is used only on limited lines such as the Nippori-Tonari liner. Tobu is said to be the first major private railway aiming for Go-A3. Obstacle detection systems were tested during daytime in September and October 2021 and at night in February 2022. Further testing with revenue trains took place in fiscal 2022. New rolling stock will be introduced for full Go-A3 implementation. 4 train sets are scheduled between fiscal 2026 and 2027, with trial operation after fiscal 2028. With a length of about 1 kilometer, about 0.62 miles, no level crossings and no through services, the Daishi Line is ideal for testing new technology. Its proximity to Tobu headquarters in Oshiage is also advantageous. Go-A3 is planned for expansion to the Kamedo line as well. A small line born from an unrealized dream may yet transform a major private railway. Thank you for watching.